Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Have you ever wondered what games you should sell or you should use? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Find out on our top 10 list what games you cannot miss. Don't forget to subscribe to Purge Reviews.
Spurs is a game that I heard a lot about for a long time. Now, being a fan of the Old West, I love nearly anything with this theme, from movies to TV shows to board games. I was super excited to play this game as I had heard that outside of maybe Carson City that this was the Old West game to have. I had been told it was very thematic. I had heard that it was very fun, but I didn't know a whole lot about it. And I do that on purpose, almost like spoilers to me, where I don't want to find out too much about a game. I want to kind of play it and enjoy it myself. Thankfully, my budget allows that, where I don't have to uber research a game. And I'm very, very thankful and blessed and grateful for that. So I got Spurs when I saw it on sale at Fun Again. And I was like, wow, I didn't even know this game was out, as I normally buy through Cool Stuff, and it hadn't been in stock, as far as I know, for a long time. So I got it in the expansion, and I was able to get it to the table quite a few times, and the first time, didn't like it at all. As I played it more, I liked it more and more. Now, what this game has going for it is the theme. This game feels like the Old West. I feel like I'm in the Old West. I feel like I'm doing Old West things. I'm literally, with my draw bag and bullets, having a duel in the middle of a street. I feel like at high noon. I am rustling cattle. I am breaking horses. I am shooting outlaws and desperados. The theme comes across very strong in this game, and I'm very grateful and thankful for that. Now, Desperado has a really cool mechanic where I'm drawing bullets out of a bag. That is a very, very cool effect. You can shoot with a rifle or a revolver. Not 100% sure that was needed, but I think that's just to kind of keep the mathematics going in it. If you get more brown for the rifle or gray for the revolver, you'll want to shoot with that. Normally, it's pretty obvious which one you'll shoot with because you're better with one or another. Each character has a special power, or really just a way that he is good at scoring or getting more money. And it really makes sense with the theme of who you are. The outlaw, gets the bonus of the outlaw, the one in at the beginning, and the sheriff guy is he gets a bonus every time he captures an outlaw, which is kind of cool. I think that really comes across. I think that's really, really good in this game. And I think that if you're looking for an Old West game and you're looking for a thematic experience, then this game will satisfy. Where this game is probably going to let you down is in some of the mechanics. So let's start here. The game is very, very luck dependent. When I say luck dependent, I mean nearly everything you do is either the roll of a dice or a draw from a bag. There's very little strategic elements here. You do what you're good at. You do what you're able to reach. The rest of it is just a roll of the die. Another bad aspect of the game is the downtime. There is a tremendous amount of time between turns, especially if you get a couple people doing the cattle or the horse, breaking of the horse. There's going to be a lot of downtime between turns. That's even made worse by sometimes all you're doing on a turn is drawing some stuff from a bag. If you're drawing from a bag and your turn is literally 10 seconds and you just had a long turn to get around to you and now it's a long turn to get back around to you, it just compounds and feel even worse. So you want to be really aware of the downtime. Now, this isn't going to be an hour between turns. This isn't Twilight Imperium 3. You don't have time to play another game. But because the game is so luck dependent and so easy to play, that if you have some quick turns and you know what you're doing, downtime or any sort of analysis paralysis is going to take a very long time. It's going to be very hard to swallow with this game. you're either in this game for the theme and not for the components or the gameplay. I think the components are shoddy at best. I mean, they're okay. Nothing here. I mean, they're real thin chits. You're gonna have some custom dice, but they're nothing in here is gonna make you come home. I do like the artwork in the game. I do like the special powers. There's so much that I like about this game. It's almost like the parts of it are better than the sum. But when you're actually playing the game, I don't know how interesting that it is for me. It's just too luck dependent, and it looks too shoddy. But let me say this. If you're interested in an Old West game that's heavy on theme, Spurs could be it. If you don't mind a little bit of downtime. Now, this game, the downtime feels worse than it is. That's the best way for me to put it. It just feels worse than it is. But if you're okay with that, and you're looking for just a lark, or winning doesn't matter as much as just kind of shooting the breeze and being in the Old West, I can't explain how much fun it is to have those duels where you put your hands down and you just draw until you get two of a kind. You bang, and I won. It just feels so good. But it's also luck. Who drew it the quickest? But it's a really neat way to do it. So this game is going to be like 90% theme and 10% gameplay. And that's going to be okay for some, but for me, I just don't have enough fun playing it. I think the game lasts the right amount of time. It really does. It just has too many flaws, and maybe the game has been aged. It might even, because you always have these little mini games that you're playing. I don't know how you can speed that up or move that on. You just have to sit there and watch somebody roll the dice 5 or 6 times and do their thing. There's no way around it. Here is a rule book with some beautiful artwork on it that never really plays into the game. The rules are very, very wordy, which is okay. I wish there was a player aid or a cheat sheet for the players for all the little mini games. But I think the rule book is pretty good. I had a little trouble with the cattle and the horses when I was learning to play with it, but it might have been me going too quickly rather than the game itself. The main idea of the game is you're going to have these miniatures on the board. They look fairly nice, but these are not what you would call high quality miniatures by any stretch of the means, although I do think they could be painted up. So basically you're going to have these on, and you have the option of moving. If you want to move, you move a number of these horse die to the number that your character has, and then you can move this number of spaces. In this case 4. Moving on a space is 1, forests are 2, and mountains are 3. So I want to go through here, 3, 4, I could move there, or 1, 2, 3 to go around. Fairly simple. Now, what you're trying to do is get to these things for the most part and do them. And there's going to be a whole bunch of different ones. This one's outlaw, gold. You're going to have a cattle, corralling some cattle. So different things you can do, and they're all a mini game. We'll come back to that in just a second. You're also going to have some of these bullets, and they'll be in a draw bag. You're going to get 5 of these with the game. And you'll have these in here. The bag is way too big for what you need, and you'll draw these out. And when you draw these out when you're doing things, you're going to have a different result. So black is a miss, red is a miss, white, gray is a hit on a revolver, and white and brown is a hit on a rifle. And that's going to be the main mechanic of just drawing these out however number you need. So you're going to be changing the mix-up of what your gun has and what kind of bullets. I also want to point out that you'll be going to these towns, which will have actions on it. You can do it. A lot of them is taking the outlaws back. You can treat your injuries, pay for victory points, and buy and sell equipment cards. There's going to be 3 of these around the board that you'll be able to go to. So a round of the game is fairly easy for a player. You'll roll, you'll move, and then you'll either interact. There's a few actions you can do. If you're in the same spot with another player, you can duel them. And that's a really cool effect. I'll get to that in a second. You can interact with any of these that are on the board, or you can simply rest. Those are the 3 things that you can do. Now, the hard part about the game is that each one of these tiles, depending on what type they are, will do something different. I'm going to show you what those are right now. If you're trying to corral cattle, what you have here is you're going to have 4 turns to do it in. And if you successfully do it, if you get all the cattle next to at least 2, you get 2 victory points, or $5 per cow that's by 2 other cows. Or if you don't want to do it, you can just get the $15 and a wanted poster. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this little rider and you're going to put on any cow you want. Then you're going to roll a number of these blue dice, and you have to pick one of these. Almost just two different things. So you have to go move the rancher you're on in one of these directions. Okay, and what you're trying to do is get them all, so the cows will be next to 2 other cows. For every cow that's next to 2, you get $5. If you get able to get them all that way, then you get the victory points listed on the card. So in this case, if he was here and I had to pick one of these 2 dice, I would probably pick this one and move him here to bring him closer. So that's kind of how the cattle works. It's probably the most confusing of all of them. If you draw or land on the horse spot, what you'll do is you'll have a number of rounds to score 3 victory points and $35 if you're able to break the horse in. Now with the horse, you don't get the points immediately. You have to take it back to a town. And basically what you're doing here is you're putting the rider here and you're moving him around in different directions. And you're trying to, well, in this case I would want to move up here. You can see what I rolled. You don't want it to land on these spots, these mountainous spots, or off the board. So you have to roll this a number of times to accomplish that. So my second roll would be like this. And I don't want to go up there. I can't go down here, so I'd kind of be screwed right there. And I wouldn't have broken him in. That's horses. Otherwise, you're going to have a number of different animals, like a bear and a rabbit, that will require. So with this one, I need to draw 2 browns. You'll always draw 3 bullets, whichever one you're fighting. And I'm hoping in this case to get 2 browns. If I succeed, I get $30 and 2 victory points if I take him back to a town. If I miss, I get a red bullet, which is an injury and a miss. And there's a number of those different kinds of animals that you'll be looking at. So that's how the animals will work. Outlaws work just like the animals do, except you're trying to draw the revolver. You're trying to draw the gray or white ones. If you miss, you get a red. And this one, you get 2 victory points and $30 if you bring it back to a town. With the gold, you'll be drawing from a bag. There's going to be black and gold, and you'll be drawing those. You obviously won't use a clear bag when you're drawing them. And you'll get, in this case, you'll get to draw 2, and then you have to fight a desperado. Desperados work kind of like the outlaws, but they'll have something on these that will tell you you're fighting this guy and this is the requirement. And if you succeed, you immediately get this. You don't have to bring it back to town. If you miss, you get an injury. And this one might require a gray or a brown. And you get a spur or victory point. So they work a little bit differently. And that's the different things that you'll kind of run into. Some of those you have to bring back to town. Some of those you score immediately. I would keep this firmly in the hands of people who really want this genre, who really want this type of game, and leave it there. For me, it's going to be a Purge. I just can't keep it around. I don't think I'm going to want to play this that much. It just doesn't have enough for what I'm looking for in a game. Although I do think this is going to have an appeal for a lot of people. I think if there's some way to streamline it and make the mini games a little bit differently, I feel like this could be almost a mass market game. It's that easy. But it's those mini games, almost like playing a Mario Party or something on a video game system, I think that keeps this game alive. So Spurs for me is going to be a miss. In conclusion, Spurs is a very easy game to play. It's just manipulating all those little mini games that's going to make it difficult. On your turn, you move, and then you activate a spot if you're there, whether it's a city, one of the tiles, or you want to duel with somebody. The duels are really fun that you just draw from the bag and trying to get the bullets. They work just like Desperados and Outlaws, except for you're competing against somebody who can do it the quickest. Very neat. The game has so much going for it. Just with the downtime, the components, and the luck involved, it just didn't have enough for me. Now, when you're playing it, the only take that is going to be in the dueling. That's it. Otherwise, there aren't a lot of cards that are like steal from somebody, blah, blah, blah. You know when somebody's coming to steal from you, and you can upgrade your bag and your bullets by going to towns and purchasing those. You do need cash, so you go out and you get a bear and bring him back and selling. The more stuff you get, wanted posters or cattle or outlaws, makes you a bigger target. So you kind of have that push and pull about Do I want to stay out here and get 2 or 3 outlaws, or get one and bring it back, which will waste time, but it makes me less and less of a target? It has that going for it. Just so much came down to the roll of the dice and the draw of the bag that it didn't have enough pull for me. I'm going to go ahead and purge this one, but I really do think this is going to be for some gamers. So take a look at it, think of it something that you want, and make your decision on whether you'd like to purchase this or not. And this has been Spurs. Thanks for watching Purge Reviews. I thank you for subscribing to the channel. I thank you for viewing this video.